I make over $500,000 a year as a 23-year-old living in Australia. And in this video, I want to be talking about the concept that you need to consistently and constantly be learning if you want to get to the next level. It doesn't really matter if you're running a business, you're working in a job, you are playing a sport professionally for a living, whatever it really is, you're making content. You have to constantly be learning and taking more action. So, a few months ago, I started my consulting business. So it was probably like 6 or so months ago. Started the business, hit $20,000 a month. So, that's 200K a year. And I got stuck around that level and I knew something had to change. So I made some pivots and I got to the next level. So, now I'm making $500,000 a year, 50K a month. And at this level, I'm feeling the pressure and the weight of not having enough information and also the right systems, right? So for me to get to that next level, it's going to require a lot of new information that I didn't know about, because you just don't know what you don't know. And it requires building foundations, more infrastructure, more systems, more automations, and bringing on a team who can actually help you run the business. Because one thing I've found, one thing I've learned very, very recently is that your team will actually help you scale. When you get to around 50K a month, you can't really get to the next level without bringing on more of a team, because there's just too many variables in the business at this level where somebody needs a specific role and to essentially crush in that role. For me, as a business owner, I can't be wearing 5 different hats at once if I want to hit $100,000 a month. I need somebody or a few different people in specific roles where I know I can rely on them and they can also rely on the systems that I've built for them and for me. And so, context for what I do is I run a consulting firm where I help marketing agencies scale their businesses anywhere from between $10,000 to $30,000 a month, help them scale up to $50,000 a month and beyond, so a similar level to me. And they make an investment in me, right? And that is good for them because, they learn from my systems, they learn from my expertise, they learn from my experience. But even for myself, I know that I only know so much. I'm not perfect, I don't know everything. And, I also invested myself. So last month, I invested over $15,000 in consulting for myself, new systems being built, just a bunch of different things that, I never knew about before. So, I'm running a new style of a funnel, I'm running new styles of ads, I'm running new testing strategies, all those kind of things. And I really would not have known about these things if I didn't invest. It's kind of weird because I know that next month I'm going to hit $100,000 a month. So that's going to be the start of making 7 figures a year. So $1 million a year. But I would not have been exposed to that information, that curated information, if I didn't take the next step and invest in the next mentorship, the next consultant, right? And even previously, before this, when I was running my agency, I ran it up and I had many different mentors, many different coaches as well. I invested, the first time I invested, it was something along the lines of anywhere between $9,000 to $12,000. That was literally my first investment to get into, the whole online world. That was a couple of years ago. After that, I invested, another $15,000. After that, I invested another about $5,000, and then this time again, another $15,000. So you kind of see how much you actually have to invest in getting the right help, getting the right support, and getting the right systems, most importantly. So business in general, and just life, is all based on systems, right? And let me explain this one. So when you have something like a car, for example, I'm sitting in the car, right? You press the on button, and what happens from that, right? You press the on button, the rest of the car starts. The engine turns on, that flows into the exhaust, the dash turns on, the lights turn on, everything turns on. And everything is so systemized, which makes this whole system work. It's smooth, it just flows. But let's say, for example, if things weren't connected, or you didn't have the right systems, or you didn't know how to build a car, there was no instruction manual, I would have zero clue on how to build a car, right? I don't have that skill, I don't have that knowledge, I don't have that information, and so I wouldn't be able to do that. But if you were somebody who was trying to build a car like this, you would need a lot of information and you would need the right systems to literally just plug and play. And so that, I think that's a really, really good analogy for anything, especially business, where if you want to build something, if you want to build a vehicle, let's say for example an agency, you need the foundations you need the chassis, you need the skeleton of the business first, and to get to the next level, you need to expand on that skeleton, right? Like this full car was just a chassis once, right? That's level 1, that's between 0 to 10K a month. And on top of that, you have to attach things. You have to build more things on top of the system itself. So you have to put the doors on, you have to put the seats in the car itself, you have to put the roof on, the windows, all the glass here, you have to put the engine in. And that's when things really start kicking off. That's when you literally grow. So from 0 to 10K a month, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 50, 50 to 100, and 100 to a million, right? There's more layers that need to be built for it to actually become a complete system that just runs on its own, okay? And so using this analogy, what I'm trying to say is that not only do you need to learn information, you need to act on the information, and you need to build systems around the information to make sure that things are more systemized, things are more automated, and things are more productized, right? You won't be able to scale to the next level if you're not productized. And so I was speaking to a guy today who's probably doing around $60,000 a month with his agency already. That's between him and his business partner. So both were probably taking around $20,000 to $30,000 a month, which is great. And they got there without any sort of systems. And their goal was to get $100,000 a month, which is, I'm assuming he was one guy, so it would have been 2 business partners making $200,000 a month in total. Now, making that kind of money using only spreadsheets or manual systems, it's just not going to work. You're not going to make it, right? And so the easiest fix for him was to implement something like a CRM, go high level, okay? Run automations on Zapier, on Make, but they just needed something to actually help them manage the flow that they were getting and systemize things, because he didn't have an onboarding process, he didn't have a client acquisition process, he didn't have any sort of SMS or email automations. And I know this might be jargon to some, but all these different things within the process, they have the information, but without the implementation and acting on it and having the right systems, it makes it a lot harder to know what to do. And without that blueprint, right, that instruction manual, he doesn't know how to actually implement these things. And so, you can try it out for yourself. That's completely fine. You can try it out for months, even to years. But for certain people like myself who prioritize speed and would rather speed over anything else, I would go ahead and actually pay for that. I would just pay, because there's no point. Like, I wouldn't want to waste another month to figure things out on my own when I could just pay somebody who's already done that, been there, knows what to do, tells me do X, Y, and Z, and I'm there. In my head, it slows me down, and I don't want to be slowed down. I want to consistently and constantly learn to get to the next level. But learning also means committing and taking action and getting to the next level by investing in yourself. You don't learn when you don't invest in yourself, because it doesn't force you to do anything faster when you're just trying to do it yourself. You could try and do it yourself, but you just don't know what you don't know. You have a complete lack of information and a complete lack of insights. So if you're watching this and you want to get to the next level, whatever it is you do, go find someone, go find a coach, go find a mentor, go find a consultant, find somebody who knows what they're doing and has done that before for themselves and for other people, because those people are going to be the ones that can help you, give you the systems, give you the information, give you the support, all in a curated fashion that will help you get to the next level. Like the investment I made, incredible. Like, I unlocked so many things that I didn't know before, and it's helped me. It's like kind of expanded my mind, right? And one thing it's really helped me to do is think and learn about copywriting, execute and take more action on copywriting. So actually articulating my thoughts. How do I write things that make people do certain things, or make people interested, or make people click, things like that. And that's been one of the biggest learnings I've had over the past month. And not only that, things like funnel building, things like running ads, different testing strategies. I've learned so much literally just by paying some money. And money's just a tool, right? Money just helps you get to places faster. That's literally all it does. You don't have to do, you don't have to wait around. Like, if you have the money, just throw it at some information, throw it at systems. Be like stupidly aggressive with trying to find the next thing, the next best thing, the next best information out there. And so, yeah, just wanted to make this video as kind of a reflection of the past few months for me. I know I made a video saying I'd hit $100,000 a month in probably October. It's midway through November now, and I still haven't hit it. But what I actually learned from that is that I didn't have the systems that were capable of reaching $100,000 a month. I didn't have the team and the information capable of hitting that kind of money in a month, right? But now that I do have that, just wait. You're literally going to see it. And so, I'm excited. I don't have any sort of doubt that I'm going to make it. It's just a matter of when. And when can be accelerated by getting help. And so that's exactly what I did. So for you guys watching this video, if you want to get to the next level, invest, learn, take action, and I hope you can hit your goals before the end of the year. So appreciate you guys watching. That is all for now. I'll see you soon. Peace out.